Continuing now with our breaking news coverage right now, a house fire in the Salem, New Hampshire area, 20 Irving Street, which we've been covering now for about an hour and 15 minutes. These are pictures taken just a little while ago from an aerial shot from our helicopter. And right now, we do know that this apparently began from some sort of a law enforcement action at this home at 20 Irving. We do not know if anyone is inside this home. This fire, though, is now contained.
What we do know is that evacuations were ordered on Irving Street and surrounding streets. Our Jean Mackin is standing by live in the area. She just attended a briefing. She has the very latest on what's happening out there. Jean.
Tom and Shelley, I'm standing outside the house, which is basically gutted at this point. One ladder truck from the Salem Fire Department pouring water onto the fire, but it is leveled. Now, as you mentioned, we just had a briefing from the Salem Police Department who tell us that they responded to some sort of a neighbor complaint about this house late this afternoon, and that when they arrived, they attempted to speak with the person who was inside the house, apparently a man. That did not go well. As they were exiting the area, they say they heard the sound of gas and then an explosion. At that point, they say, is when neighbors may have reported hearing the sound of gunshots, but it may actually have been ammunition exploding in the fire of the house. People in the area were told to either shelter in place, stay inside, lock their doors, or to leave the immediate area of the fire while the SWAT team was summoned. They couldn't even bring fire department into the area because at this point they're unsure if the gentleman they encountered inside this house remains in the house or was able to get away. So they do have police combing the area, but residents are standing outside. Police just cautioning people to be safe, stay near their homes if they need to get inside at this point. But that's the situation here on Irving Street in Salem. Tom and Shelley?
Okay, very good. We do have a Facebook image here of that home with the sunlight up. And if we can listen into this video, you will hear some ammunition popping going on. Let's see if we can listen in. We apparently do not have the audio on that at this point, but there was a popping sound of ammunition apparently catching on fire at the home at Irving Street.
And again, just to recap, this is the situation right now. You are looking at pictures of a house burning. That is 20 Irving Street in Salem, New Hampshire. Police got a call to head out to that house just before 6 o'clock. As our Jean Mackin just told us, they went out there on a neighbor complaint. They tried to speak to a man in the house. That did not go very well. The scene deteriorated. The man did not let them inside. The police backed away. There were sounds of gas heard, then an explosion. The SWAT team was called in, and this is the result. A house burning at 20 Irving Street. People living on that street and surrounding streets were ordered to evacuate.
This is a single-family home. We have been told by authorities at the Salem Police Department that just as recently as a few years ago, it was considered to be uninhabitable as a home. We do not know the current occupant of that home. We do not know whether or not there was an occupant in the home at the time that the fire broke out. But again, the fire at 20 Irving Street.
And earlier this evening, I had a chance to speak to Chief Paul Parisi of the Salem Fire Department. He gave me some information about what was going on out there. Let's listen into what he had to say.
So we got a call from the police department for an explosion at number 20 Irving Street at 17:55 hours, so just before 6 o'clock this evening. When we arrived, we found Salem police were operating at that residence, and they advised us to stage as they weren't exactly sure what was happening. There was some kind of what started to be a small fire, and it obviously developed into the fire that you see before you now. As the fire developed, we evacuated the homes on all sides of number 20 Irving Street. We worked very well with the police department throughout the entire incident. We established a joint command post and have been operating together for the duration of the incident. At this time, we are still in a defensive operation. We have several master streams in place, and they are using a towel ladder bucket as well.
Who lives at 20 Irving Street?
Pardon me?
Who lives at this residence?
Well, the owner that we have is the owner of record is an Alice Hill, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the resident or not, or if that's still who lives there. But that's the information that we have.
Was there anybody in the house at the time? What about these gunshots that witnesses reported hearing?
We don't know. When the police officers did attempt to make contact with someone in the house, and it's unknown to us whether or not they actually did. We don't think that they actually made contact, but we're not sure if we could say for sure whether someone was actually in the home or not.
Was there an explosion? Was it a sudden event that caused the fire?
Also, something we can't say for sure. We did get a call for an explosion, and that was the original call why we were sent there. When we arrived, though, the fire was it must have been pretty small because there was very little smoke showing from the outside of the home. So whatever it was, as far as an explosion, we don't know because we're not going to be able to get in to investigate it for some time.
Is there anybody inside the house?
We don't know the answer to that.
Okay, you were listening to an interview conducted earlier with Chief Paul Parisi of the Salem Fire Department. One other note, a quick search on some information about this house at 20 Irving Street. It's a small house. It's less than 2,000 square feet. And the chief also did tell me that as the latest time that they checked in on this house was in 2015, and they decided that this was a house that was uninhabitable, and they ordered whoever owned this house to turn off the water, and they deemed it a place that was not safe to live.
So there you have it. More questions than answers still tonight at 20 Irving Street in Salem, New Hampshire, where there was some sort of a police incident, neighbor incident that occurred there, then an explosion, the popping of perhaps ammunition from inside the house, and word tonight from Gene Mackin on the scene that house is a total loss. We do not know if there have been any injuries. There have been no safety force injuries that we've been told of, but we do not know whether there were occupants in that home at the time.
And of course, please do stay with WMUR, WMUR.com, as well as our mobile app for all updates that we can bring you on this story. Of course, we'll bring you the very latest as we learn it.